Welcome to Dolly, pardon, the sassiest, classiest, and most unfiltered adult collectors podcast.
We're serving up weekly episodes packed with laughs, hot takes, and all the tea from the world of adult doll collecting. Whether you're into high fashion minis, vintage treasures, or just here for the love of dolls, we've got you covered.
So grab a drink, strike a pose, and let's talk dolls. Because collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. Welcome to the episode dedicated to the girls with a passion for fashion. Today we will be discussing the Bratz dolls with none other than Bratz boy in the zone. His name is Sean, and he is a doll collector that you can find on Instagram, and he has been collecting for years and years and years, and he is iconic, and we are so lucky to have him here today. We're going to be discussing all things Bratz, really. He is such an encyclopedia of knowledge, and really we're just going to hop right into it. But first, you already know what we have to do. These lips aren't just big, they're built to speak the truth and suck a whole lot of...
I love you. You're the most amazing brown guy I've ever met. He's in a loving relationship, so messy ass hoes, don't try it.
You're such a shady bitch. So I have only one thing to say to you. Run along, hun, before your arches collapse and your little iconic fantasy crumbles faster than a clearance shelf doll stand. Right, let's jump right into this episode. Today we have a very, very special Dolly friend. We're dipping our toes all the way up to our fists into the world of Bratz, and we're going to do it with a very special guest. Hello, Sean. Hi, welcome to Dolly Pardon.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
So, Sean, do you want to tell us a bit more about you and introduce yourself to the Dolly Pardon listener?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, thanks so much for having me on the pod. I've actually never done a podcast episode before, so this is a first time experience for me. So when you guys reached out, I was obviously really happy about it. So yeah, here we are. A little bit about me. So in terms of my doll collecting journey, I've been a Bratz collector and fan for as long as I can remember. My first doll was of a Bratz doll. It was in 2002. It was first edition Chloe, and it was a birthday present. And since then, my collection's gone from one doll to well over 1,000, which is kind of me diagnosing myself as a hoarder right now. But it is what it is.
You are.
And yeah. But you know what? I'm a hoarder and proud. And since then, my collection for Bratz has just continued to evolve. As you can imagine, especially being an adult collector, when you get a job and you start getting your own income, it can get a bit dangerous. I was constantly treating myself. I'm actually glad in hindsight that I did back then when the dolls from the initial era of Bratz were on shelves, because as I'm sure you guys know, the cost for Bratz on the secondhand market is insane. And I'm sure there's a lot of Bratz dolls that I own now that I wouldn't be able to get because they're rare. Some scalper prices are insane. But yeah, in terms of my Instagram journey though, so I was looking for a kind of outlet to enjoy the hobby back in 2015. I was a follower of Flickr. There was a few kind of, in my book, icons that were on Flickr that posted their doll photography images, and I just always thought, like, why am I not doing that? You know, I was doing it at home anyway for my own pleasure, so why not put it online so that other people could see it too? So did my first post in 2015, which happened to be around the time of Bratz 2015 comeback. So it just kind of felt like the right time to do it. And since then, I just started getting more kind of confident in how to take pictures and
Mhm.
working with angles, and honestly, everything I know now and how I take my pictures now were self-taught slash following other people in the community,
Mhm.
even simple things as like trying to do hair. I don't know if any of you have done mermaid curls on doll's hair before. It is so hard, but learning it and being able to do it right is such an achievement, honestly. So yeah, my point is, I love posting on Instagram, and having people that actually care to see what I post and being a part of
Mm.
this Bratz community is amazing. It's getting bigger and bigger now, especially with all the new Bratz stalls that are coming out and they're continuing to come out. We've
Yeah.
seen such amazing collaborations recently. So yeah, it's been a very fast. Gosh, how many years is that? 10 years now. 10 years in
Mm.
July. I
Wow.
think I first posted on Instagram, so I guess I'm coming up for my 10-year anniversary. So I'll
Wow,
need to do
10
something special.
years.
Yeah.
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh.
Yeah.
You take
Sean,
some incredible photos, by the way. Just your pictures are
Thank you.
incredible.
Yes,
Thank you
that's
so much.
so good.
Sean, so was it always like Bratz, specifically Bratz? I know you said that Chloe was your very first doll, but was it always like, I only have an interest in Bratz? Was it ever Barbie? Was it ever Integrity Toys? Or was it always just Bratz?
Right. So, I will be honest, I was once a Barbie fanatic, but I do mean that in the sense of when I was like a really, really young kid. But
Mhm.
then when I was 5, my youngest sibling was born, my sister. And
Yeah.
Hmm.
when she started to get into dolls, she was like very much, I just like Bratz. But she came up in the
Uh-huh.
age of like Bratz just dominating the industry for fashion
Yeah.
dolls, especially in the
Mm.
UK. Like the shelf space for Bratz and market share here was at its absolute highest at the peak ages of our childhoods.
Mm.
So Bratz were inescapable. So that certainly played a role into my favoritism. But me and my sister bonded over them, and yeah, we've played with them every single day. But in terms of the Barbies that I do remember very vividly owning, it was like Barbie Swan Lake. I love that movie. I love that
Mhm.
doll.
Hmm.
And actually, my favorite Barbie doll was, I'm sure everyone knows about this Barbie. It was when the Scooby Doo 2 live remake or the live
Mhm.
action movie came out.
Uh-huh.
And it was Barbie as Daphne, and
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
she came
Yeah.
with like a plushy Scooby Doo, and she had like her gorgeous red hair and the
Yeah.
little green
Yeah.
necktie and the pink mini dress, the pink shoes, and they like you pulled them apart and then they would click back together. Oh, loved it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but eventually when my sister got a wee bit older and started to only want Bratz and wanted Bratz like for any special occasion, I was kind of mirroring that. And before I knew it, like I can't deny that a big partial part of my collection was inherited from my sister. We were very tactical. So I'd be like, I'll get Genie Magic, Sasha for Christmas. You get Genie Magic, Yasmin for
Wow.
Christmas, and then the fast.
That's so sweet.
So yeah,
That's so cute.
yeah, but in my kind of adult years of dog collecting, so when the LOL OMGs came back, came out, I was very happy about that.
Mhm.
As you'll probably know, at that time on doll shelves, the market was quite scarce and
Yeah.
boring and lacked originality. So the fact that OMG kind of came back into the more fashion focused aesthetics, in my opinion,
Mm.
I was really excited about that. And I do love MGA Entertainment as a brand. So
Yeah.
I definitely would say I'm brand loyal in many ways.
I've noticed that like the Bratz fans are like hardcore. Like you guys like are
Yeah.
very hardcore
We,
loyalists
uh,
to Bratz.
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's funny because when the lawsuit happened, back in 2008, 2009, like I was a really young teenager. I didn't even
Mhm.
really understand the full depth of what was going on, but I remember being so mad. I was like, what do we have to do? I'll go to Mattel's head office, or
Yeah.
I'll go somewhere, I'll go to the court and I'll say my piece. Like, I need to stop this. But yeah, as I got older, I just kind of became more brand loyal in that sense.
Yeah.
And actually, talking about the trial makes me think of Moxie Girls as well, which is
Mhm.
another MGA line, which is definitely less spoken about. But even though I didn't love them when they came out, I knew that they were kind of Brat's predecessor at the time. So again, in terms of brand loyalty, I was like, well, I'm just gonna have to get into Moxie Girls.
Yeah,
And looking back, I actually like them more than I did then, but
yeah,
they were never Bratz, and I think MG did
Right.
that. And I'm so glad, all of the, you know, bad stuff out of the way, and we've came leaps and bounds in that time, and the dolls that we have are Bratz again. And yeah, I'm just so glad that they're back on the shelves.
yeah,
And one of the
absolutely.
pictures that you're featuring on this presentation at the bottom right is the one of the most recently released Playline dolls from Bratz, the Going Out
Yeah,
collection. And being able to see them in stores, I swear, is such a high. Going
yeah,
into toy stores and seeing Bratz, your favorite brand, is I'm sure you can all relate to when you see your favorite
Yeah.
doll brand in stores.
yeah,
There's just nothing like it, and being able to complete collections and still enjoy them to this day as a full-fledged adult is pretty cool.
yeah,
It's
100%.
amazing how much you love this brand, and
Yeah,
we are, all of us are, doll lovers, and we all collectors, kind of addicted to this. But
yes,
I just love the passion, and the
for fashion.
and the passion for fashion that you have. It is just incredible. It's just very inspiring
Yeah,
to see that you've stuck to this brand for so long. And I mean, it paid off because you're on the PR
yeah,
list for Bratz, are you? I think
yeah,
for European creators to be noticed and to be acknowledged by American brands is actually quite a big deal. So
yeah,
you've
Hmm.
done really well for
You're absolutely
yourself.
right.
Can
yeah,
I
Yeah, of
absolutely.
can I ask you a question? I'm just a nosy bitch, and I just need to
course.
know. Of course,
Yeah.
the pictures that you take, the dolls, the dolls, of course, are on different bodies, and you use
I
these.
knew it because I was going to ask this question as
You
well.
use
Yeah.
2010 bodies, don't you? The with
So
the full
I
shenanigans
Yes,
going
I
on.
knew I was going to get questioned about this. It's definitely the hands down the most repeated question I get asked in
Yeah.
my DMs and comments on my posts. People always say, "My Bratz doll doesn't come with this body. Like, where
Yeah.
did you get this from? Like, is this customized by you?" No, it is not. One fun thing about me is obviously original era of Bratz being 2001 right up till 2008, 2009 will obviously be, the golden era of the brand.
Yeah,
But when they come back in 2010, I love them. Like, I absolutely love them. I kind of like their new stylized faces. There was elements of them which were not as good as they were before, but I really can't take away from. I can't not tell you enough how much I loved the dolls before and at this stage as well. And one
Mhm.
of the biggest reasons for that has to be their articulated bodies, which were first
yeah,
introduced in the Party 2010 collection. I've just always enjoyed that Bratz body the most.
Yeah.
And I just, to this day, still naturally gravitate towards that body when I want to take pictures. Obviously,
Yeah.
they have bendable knees, which is great.
Yeah.
While their posability isn't absolutely 100% perfect, meaning they can't put their hands, around their
yeah.
hips, but you can
Yeah.
get kind of close. That
Do you have
aside, I,
like
I
20 million of those bodies? Or is always the full that you have?
So the articulated body was actually released a few times during that era of Bratz between
Mhm.
2010 and 2012. You had the Bratz Rock line, you had Bratz Cats, just to name a couple, and as well as the Bratz Party collection. So there was always 4 or 5 characters in those lines. So if I have one of each doll, obviously I'm looking at around 12 articulated bodies. And I have just through being in buying bundles online or
Yeah.
being in a charity store, or maybe you guys would call that a thrift store in the States, like finding, a Brat stall. I can't leave her to be picked up by someone else. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I've happened to have
Right.
articulated bodies from the 2010 era. So
Save
yeah,
them.
I should really do a count of how many articulated Bratz bodies I have, but I wouldn't say it's crazy as much as maybe anywhere from 15 to 20.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
On a
decent.
thousand
That's
dolls, that
decent.
is all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I,
Like, listen, I do not have them on every single one of my dolls. I wish I did. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
usually kind of like for photos, I'll swap out, I'll do a head swap with the bodies if I'm finding that I need a body quickly and, I don't have time to go get a new one or whatever, then I'll obviously use the ones I currently have.
Yeah, so you do a lot of
Yes.
customization as well, like not only with the bodies, you do also reroute your dolls, which I've seen. Do you sew? Do you make your own clothes as well? How much of
Well,
that is part of your collecting experience?
it's definitely a part of my collecting experience, even more so through my time on Instagram. I think rerouting was something that I had hadn't even considered was an option 10 years ago. And seeing other collectors taking dolls that, like I was saying, when you pick them up in a charity shop or a thrift store and, the previous owners cut all their head off, and you might turn a blind eye on them thinking, oh, well,
Mm,
they're ruined, but actually having the luxury of being able to have the skills and the tools to reroute a doll and bring it back to life in a
yeah.
sense is so cool. I've done that so many times with Bratz over the years. It definitely plays a large role in my journey. But then equally, I do love the Bratz, how they come. So,
Mm.
it's not something that I would do for all of my Bratz dolls, for example, and all of the
Yeah.
pictures featured in this slide. I haven't rerouted any of them, but that doesn't mean that I've not rerouted others. For example, the going out Sasha in that picture in the bottom right. I actually got myself two of those because I love that doll so much. And
She
I want
is like honestly, I'm always so flabbergasted whenever I think of her or whenever I see her. Her
she's so
screening, her
pretty.
hair, those
Yes.
boots.
Yes. Everything. Everything. She's honestly just like one of the best Sashas, especially in the modern era.
Yeah.
But yeah, she holds a special place in my heart. But I got a second one so that I could cut her head off, made a
Yeah.
little Insta reel about it, put it on TikTok as well, and gave her some gorgeous auburn red hair that was like super long.
I've seen it, yeah.
Just to see what she looked like with it. I love Sasha when she comes with red hair like that. You don't see it often, but when you do, it's always a treat. So yeah, rerouting is definitely more of a part of my customization journey. I would love to learn to sew like properly, like proper fabrics. Like I can do a basic hand stitch, so like my
Yeah.
Tape Cray inspired picture on the top. I mean, that is just a
Wow.
vest top and some pants.
Yeah.
Like not to downgrade my skills here, but
No.
it's not the most tailored thing ever.
Mhm.
In the picture of the four girls sitting on those kind of baubles on the poles,
Yeah.
those knee-high socks, I sewed them. So
Oh,
I
lovely.
think being able to like actually make a proper outfit with fabric, for example, and all the other outfits you can see here, that would be
Yeah.
amazing. It's definitely something that I continue to challenge myself on and want to get better at. So watch this space.
That's what
Yeah,
I was
we
gonna
will.
compliment you on is that picture right there. That's a like replica of like a Chanel ad, right? Like Chanel fragrance ad, isn't it?
Yeah, so I posted that last year for the Bratz 23rd anniversary.
Oh, wow.
I always like to do like a special picture around the anniversary date, which happened to just be earlier on in this week. It was on the 21st, so I posted another one.
Lovely.
But for this one specifically, I was very inspired by whatever Chanel perfume it was. From I think it was in the 90s that campaign
The
initially
Chanel
launched.
Yeah.
Chance.
I could be
Yeah, the
wrong.
Chanel
Mm.
Chance ad.
Right,
Yeah, it's
right.
so beautiful. Yeah. How did you get those little did you order those little Chanel tweed outfits that they have? Those are so cute.
So, one of the things I love about kind of integrating with collecting other doll lines is you can often find some gems that you would never automatically think to put on your said doll. So, for example, these jackets, they're actually all purple naturally, and they come with one of the LOL OMG dolls that came
Oh.
out. I think I want to say it was Series 5 or Series 6.
I
Could
know,
be
I know exactly which jacket it is.
Yes, and she
Yes.
was very Chanel inspired. She came with a skirt very similar to the ones that my Bratz dolls are wearing here. However, I got four of that tweed jackets, and then put that on the Bratz, and they're the perfect fit. So, with a little bit of photoshopping skills, I gave them all different colors to make them a bit more unique.
Oh,
And yeah, that's the
wow.
one. It's the one that Raj is holding.
Oh, so
Yes.
smart. Oh my gosh. I love a good photo editing hack. I love
That is
that.
so
So
clever.
cool. Yeah,
Thank you.
that is
Thank you.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
really
it's
pleased with
very,
that
very
one. It's one
cool.
of my favorites.
So clever.
It is such a cool picture.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
I have to ask, 1,000 dolls. How do you store 1,000 dolls?
Yes. I live in quite a small apartment currently.
Yeah.
So I rely on a storage unit to
Okay,
keep
okay. Yeah.
my treasures
Yeah,
safe.
yeah. Yeah.
But I have a lot of dolls under my bed. I have an ottoman bed, so that's ideal for my out of box dolls. They all live there.
Yeah.
But the box dolls, I've got some in a closet in my hallway, but the rest are safely stored away in an undisclosed location.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
And I mean,
ever
a
tell
store.
us.
Yeah.
I'm
Just don't
sorry,
tell
I'm taking that
Naomi
to the
because she
grave. I
will
can't.
hunt you
Just
down.
don't tell me because I'll
Yeah.
drive all the way to Glasgow.
Yeah, yeah. I've had a few people suggest doing that, but no, I just
Yeah.
can't. But obviously one day I'm saving up for a house and I
Yeah.
will have a doll room. Watch this space.
That's
But in the
amazing.
meantime, I've got some shelves here where I
Yeah.
can display some of my brats. I just kind of circulate them, to be honest. Obviously, I
Yeah.
can't see them all at any one time, but I
Yeah.
visit my unit regularly so that I can actually, remind myself of some of these amazing dolls that I've collected over the years.
What's
Love
your
it.
most precious in terms of value?
In terms of sentimental value, I would have to say my Tokyo Go dolls.
Okay.
I
I
love them.
when I was younger, I remember seeing them in Toys R Us and just being in awe by them. And I remember so vividly one Christmas getting all of the girls in the collection. That even included Tiana from the Dance and Skate Club. And you can imagine as a child that felt like the best day ever. I still
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
those dolls to this very day. I posted them on my Instagram. But the reason they've got such sentimental value is because they were given to me by special people in my family.
Oh wow.
Everyone, aunts and uncles chipped in together to gift them to me. So yeah, it was a really nice
That's
So
experience.
a
so your
Aw.
lovely.
family has always been accepting of you playing with dolls?
Yes. I was gonna ask that as
Do you
well.
know what? As a child, yes, 100%. I've been very fortunate, even with my sexuality, while I didn't actually, ever openly say that I was a gay man or gay full stop until I was like, a teenager in puberty. Um, as a kid, I feel like everyone knew it, but it wasn't a secret. It was just a given.
Yeah.
But I never had to have that struggle, and I know that I'm so lucky where my family were accepting. Like even my dad was good with that. Like he would get me dolls for
Oh
Christmas and my
wow.
birthday.
Oh.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, fortunate.
That's very
I
sweet.
think where I actually struggled most. Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys have had some experiences like that too. But I know not everyone is as fortunate as I've been in that circumstance. But
Hmm.
I'd say where I actually struggled the most, if I'm honest, was when I was kind of like 16, and still kind of figuring out who I was. And while
Yeah.
I knew that Bratz wasn't going anywhere, I was still figuring out other things in my life, like big life decisions and what I
Yeah.
wanted to do with my life and stuff. And I kind of became a wee bit more repressed. And I don't want to say I kept Bratz and collecting a secret, but
Hmm.
my sister obviously eventually grew out of playing with dolls. So when
Yeah.
I, kind of lost that outlet with her, well, that was something that we shared our entire childhoods. So when she kind
Yeah.
of phased out of it, I actually found that really hard. And um,
Mm.
I was like, what, who do I share this with? This
Yeah.
amazing, massive
Mm-hmm.
part of my life. Um, so that's why going online was so important for me to see, other people that collected, whether it be on a small
Yeah.
scale or a large scale, and being able to use that as an outlet. Like I always wonder
Hmm.
that, and maybe other people do too. If we didn't have this online community for dolls, and you
Yeah.
didn't have people in your immediate life that you could share it with, who would you talk about it to?
Yeah.
We have hobbies for a reason. It doesn't mean that you need to talk about them
All the
openly with
time.
everybody. But
Yeah.
how nice is it to even be on a podcast right now with yourselves talking about brats that
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think 10 years ago or at any point in my life before that I would be doing something like this? No, but
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I'm able to do this. And there's a podcast that exists like this to do such a thing. And having the online
Yes.
communities is just great. I think it helps so many of us, seriously. And then becoming an adult, to summarize this little
Yeah.
story and ramble, I
No.
apologize
No.
if I'm talking far too long.
No,
Um,
No, you're
no, it's
God.
interesting.
uh,
Is
oh,
there
good.
is
Thank
there
you.
a doll that you really, really want and you don't have?
Oh, listen, you'd be surprised. You'd probably think, seeing that I've got that many Bratz dolls, that surely I've got them all right. No, I don't. There's so many Bratz dolls out there that I'm still to collect and complete collections of. I'm definitely a completionist in terms of a collector.
Yeah.
It's rare that I would only get one doll from a line, but they're not high up on like many people's lists because they were designed by kids, and they are called the Bratz Designed by You collection. So I currently only have two in that collection. So Designed by You, it was a series that was released a good few years back, 2005, 2006, I want to say. And little
Oh,
girls all across the world had the opportunity to
Oh wow.
either draw a Bratz doll that they wanted created or use an online feature on their website at the time. This one's
Mhm.
actually my favorite. She's an
Yeah.
Australian exclusive called Nikki.
Yeah.
Here's
Uh-huh.
Icon that created her. You see her?
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then on the back you can kind of see what her digital art looked like, and then of course the icon herself, Nikki,
Yeah.
right here. How cool is that to have a doll named after
Imagine these
yourself?
That
girls
is
now. Like, where
amazing.
are they? I want to know where these girls are. I want to follow them. Like, how the
Yeah.
hell did you get this
What?
opportunity to create your own Bratz doll? Like, let's get them on the podcast
It
next.
wasn't online competition. It wasn't. It was an online competition at the time back in the day, but like I am with you. I actually posted a picture of the Bratz Nikki doll recently, and I was like, "Girl, where are you at? Like,
Yeah.
I want to talk to you. I want to know about your experience. Like, what do you do these days? Like, what's going on?" And then the other
Right.
one I've got here is a girl named Jasmine, and this again came out around the same time. She's from
Mm.
Alabama,
Oh,
and
lovely.
she's kind of put Yasmin in a kind of princess style dress. So you can see she did a cartoon, sorry, a
Oh,
drawing versus like a
Okay. Yeah.
digital
Yeah.
drawing.
that's
So yeah,
adorable.
oh, there's a few more. There's one called Emmanuel. Her outfit isn't the best, but I have to have her. But yeah, in an ideal world, I would have every single Bratz stall, but
Mhm.
to elaborate, inbox and out of box. That is my
Yeah.
dream. But obviously, I know that I will likely never achieve that. I think maybe if I won the lottery, that could happen. So until then, I'll just bide my time. But yeah, there's so many lines that I'd love to complete still. Seriously,
Yeah.
the list actually is longer than you would think.
That's amazing. It's incredible to hear that after you've been collecting for so long, there's still stuff that you want. Like,
Yeah. Mm.
like we are all reasonably recent collectors. Like we're talking few years.
Okay.
So for us, looking in the past is painful because there are bits that we will
Mm.
realistically probably never get for how
Okay.
much they cost or how rare they are. But hearing your story as somebody who's been in the game for so long and has been collecting for so long, it just makes me feel a bit better. If I'm honest with
Oh,
you,
I'm so pleased to hear that, Naomi. That's great.
you can't have everything, can you? So you just have to settle down at some
Yeah.
point.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
what's really interesting about what you're talking about is you're educated in brats. Like, and you understand, the not just like, this is a doll, I love this doll, it's pretty, whatever. It's, you understand the company, the ethos, and it's so evident in your passion for fashion and the way that you talk about it. It's amazing because, as Naomi said, we're still fairly new to some of us, especially me here,
Mhm.
in the last year or so that I've been collecting dolls. There's still so much to learn, than just what you get in a box, and
Absolutely.
I think that you emanate that knowledge, and it's really lovely to see.
Thank you. I mean, Bratz is just such a big part of my life. So being able to talk about it, obviously the kind of enjoyment naturally comes out. So yeah, it's nice to talk about a brand that I love so much and,
Yeah,
dolls. And I want people listening to this to know that too, whether they're new collectors or been collecting for a long time,
yeah,
some people will just say that they're just bits of plastic, but actually it depends on you as a person and what your values are and, what you find passion in is to each their own.
yeah,
Some people really enjoy horses and horse racing and
Mm,
that kind of side. My passion is dolls and this
yeah,
kind of industry. It fascinates me. And, I wouldn't judge anyone who collected any type of different object, whether it be dolls or anything. There's a hobby for everybody, isn't there?
yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah.
There really is.
Well, I normally ask for something every episode. Usually I asked for listeners to send me a doll. I never got anything. This time
You never
I'm
asked
asking you,
me.
can you get me on the PR list for Bratz? Just House of Deluge
I'll
Bratz,
try.
if you're listening.
And Plastic Poppy
Got it.
also,
Got it.
Bratz.
Nice and clear.
Plastic Poppy needs to be on the PR list.
Don't forget
Okay,
about
guys.
us.
I'll see what I can do.
Don't forget about us.
I won't.
Yeah.
We're friends now.
Yes.
We're Dolly friends.
friends.
Yeah.
Right, so shall we jump into the juice of this episode, the Dolly Parton review? Today
Yes.
it's all about Bratz. And of course, as Sean promised us, we are officially all on the PR list for Bratz, so we are officially Bratz ladies, the girls
You
with a
know.
passion for fashion. So let's jump into this. Let's review the girls. Sean, we are going to need you to tell us all the bits and bobs about these pictures. There isn't, of course, we have chosen some specific lines. We couldn't choose all of them, but tell us the juiciest details about them so we can educate ourselves.
And our listeners.
I'll try my best.
Right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Right, so let's
Ready.
go.
Okay, so first edition Bratz dolls released in 2001. These are prototype images of what eventually were going to be the stock release dolls. The line featured, as you can see in the presentation pictures here, Chloe, Jade, Sasha, and Yasmin. Obviously, these are the core four. They have nicknames in order again: Angel, Cool Cat, Bunny Boo, and Pretty Princess. All come from different ethnicities and backgrounds, but
Yeah.
I think one of the things people love about Bratz is they are so diverse in that sense. Everyone can kind of identify with each girl in their own way. And if it
Yeah.
ain't just with how they present themselves in terms of their style, they'll have their own unique personalities. So yeah, the first edition Bratz are iconic and always will be.
Sean, who do you identify with?
Who do I identify with? That's hard, you know. But I feel like I genuinely like elements of all four of the girls. But if I had to choose the one, it's always been Sasha, hands down.
Okay.
I love Sasha
Okay.
so much.
What about you, Raj?
My question was going to be, who's your favorite? But I guess you can't answer that.
It's the same.
I don't know. I don't know if Sasha's my favorite. I know it's not Chloe. And that's no shade to Chloe. It's just not Chloe. It might have to be Jade for me.
That's a strong answer. She's got strong
I think
fashion
Jade
sense.
is mine too. I think like aesthetically, I think I get along with Jade. I think me and her are like very much simpatico.
Yeah.
I like Sasha. I'm a Sasha girl.
High
I
five,
do
Naomi.
love Sasha. I love all of them. I just know which one's my favorite for sure.
In
We've
terms of the
chosen
one
the
that I
right one
would
and you've
identify
chosen the
with
wrong one.
best, in terms of the one that I would identify with best, in terms of personality, it probably would be Chloe. And we're both Geminis, so, it makes sense.
That's so funny
But
that you guys.
Sasha's my
'cause
girl.
I feel like Raj is like such a Sasha because he's like very streetwear oriented.
Yeah.
And Naomi, I feel like you're
Homeless
such a Naomi, I feel like you're such a Yasmin because you're such like a princess,
Pretty
like glamour
princess.
girl. And for you to say Sasha, you're throwing me off with that answer.
I'm sorry, baby.
Sasha
I'm a
is
disappointment.
fierce.
Yeah, she is. It's just Naomi isn't. So it's
Naomi,
It's okay.
pay them no
it's
mind.
Okay.
yeah.
It's okay.
So
I don't
mean,
listen.
what kind of rating would you give this? Like if
The
for
collection
first
as a whole?
edition? Yeah.
I think so.
for the sheer fact that it set the tone for
Yeah.
what Bratz was going to become, 10 out of 10. I have to. Don't
Yeah.
you agree?
Yeah, I would
All the
agree.
lines
But
to follow would have never been what they are had these girls not released in 2001 as seen here.
they were walking so the rest could run.
I would
That's
rate
pretty cool.
this a 7 out of 10. I think that it's cute, but I don't think this is nearly as cunty as we have seen the Bratz girlies in their prime. And
That's
the
fair.
screenings aren't my favorite screenings. Like they're a little bit more bubbly and cartoonish. I think I like them a little bit more like sleek and windswept, but I do love them.
Yeah.
I think they're cute. 7 out of 10 for me.
I will say I did just watch Sean's smile disintegrate off his face as you said that.
No,
You
no,
were
no.
like, this is a mistake. I'm
No,
leaving this
everyone
podcast.
is entitled to their own opinion. And
He said
well,
no
what
PR
you were
for
saying there,
Plastic
Sean,
Poppy.
done.
Yeah.
With that said, Estefan, like the screenings from 2001 to 2003, they were more stylized in their original concepts, and as you say, they became a bit more windswept and a lot more fierce, kind of from that point onwards. So, screening wise, I agree with you. I definitely prefer the 2003 onwards screenings, but as I say, this line, I do hold it near and dear just for the fact that it's what, set the tone, and you got to put respect on that.
Yeah.
Right.
Being only 21 myself, because of course I was born a lot later than the Bratz came out.
21. What's your shoe size?
21. Shut up. 21. 21. I have to. I'm going to give them a 7. And the only reason why I'm giving them a 7 is because I think 2000 fashion is criminal. And I remember vividly myself wearing those trousers, how wet they got when it was raining outside,
Yes.
the back of the trousers being completely ripped because they had to touch the floor to be fashionable.
Yes, it's a design
and-
flaw. It is.
Exactly. And I think, whoever lived through, again, I'm only 21, so I didn't, but whoever lived through the 2000 can remember that being a new girlie on the PR list, I have to be kind to them, okay?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a 7 for me.
And I'm going to give them an 8 because I love them and I want to not give a 10 without being 100% happy with them. I mean, there's nothing I don't like. There's nothing I don't like. I'm not so keen on Chloe's outfit, but the rest of them, love.
Why do you hate Chloe? Why do you have to hate her so
Hey,
much?
Chloe.
Stop hating on my girl.
So I tallied up our scores, and that gives Bratz first edition an 8 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
That's strong. I like that.
That's solid.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, let's see. Ooh, girl. Funk and glow. So
Love
how do
the
we
Funk and
feel?
Glow
What can you tell us
collection.
about these ladies?
So the Funk and Glow collection came out in 2002, and it featured 5 characters. So it's featured the core 4, which again is Chloe, Yasmin, Sasha, and Jade. And as you can see here, there is a redhead. This is Megan. Her nickname is Funky Fashion Monkey. I believe this was the second line she was welcomed into from the Bratz stratosphere at the time. And basically the gimmick of the line was for the girls to have outfits to wear to go out and party, because that's what you do when you're a teenager. And
Absolutely.
obviously they all featured different styles and aesthetics, but one thing that I really liked about this line in particular, and still again remember this so vividly, was that they in their packages had a try me feature, and they all came with light up denim jackets. So each one, so in line with their nicknames, for example, Cool Cat, her little illustration for her personality, or nickname I should say, is a little cat. It's pink.
Okay.
So anyway, these symbols for each girl's nicknames were embroidered onto uniquely styled denim jackets with a push feature, which would kind of sparkle a little silhouette around
That's
the shape
amazing.
of whatever their symbol was. So yes, fond memories of this collection.
Just so Raj is eating his words, Chloe is slaying the most out of all of the girlies here.
Absolutely. Her pussy's on fire here.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah, no, she looks like she's going to the Cowboy Carter tour.
She was ahead of her time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She invented
Yeah,
it before
she was.
Beyonce could do it.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
Chloe, give us
Chloe walked so
everything.
Beyonce could run.
Jade's trousers are one of, like, I got a pair from Vinted like 2 days ago.
You did.
They're just painful to get on to the doll.
I want to know where you're wearing these trousers. Do tell.
They're so good.
Not for me. For
Oh,
the doll.
right. Got it. I thought you said you bought them 2 days ago, and I was like,
no.
wow.
She's too fat
Where are you
for
going?
Yeah, you
I
heard
think-
that. You heard that, Sean. You heard that correct.
So, Sean, What is your rating for Funk and Glow?
Okay, so my rating for Funk and Glow first edition, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. And the reason for a lower marking is simply down to kind of what we were talking about with the first edition dolls. For this one specifically, for me, it's the screenings. I actually really don't like Yasmin's screening in particular. She's definitely my least favorite of this collection. But I just want to preface, because I feel mean, I love all of these dolls, but this one it doesn't come to mind as one of my top favorites, hence why I gave it a slightly lower rating.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah. I would say that Chloe is holding it down, and she is just the only one that's truly serving for me here. So I'm going to give this a 6.
I'm gonna give it a 6, and I mean, I live for Chloe's outfit. I mean, that hat alone is just giving me everything. But I'm gonna give him a 6.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say 6 as well, just because Yasmin looks like the rest of them look like they have great outfits, and Yasmin looks like she went to Next. So I'm not too keen on that one. And that gives an overall score of, can you guess?
It's a 6.
Yes, 6.125, because we have
Sean,
a
can you say
0.5.
6 for us in your accent, please?
6.
Right, next. Ooh,
Ooh.
formal funk.
Okay, I'm just going to say it quickly before anyone comes for me. Chloe is leading the way here.
Yeah, Chloe's serving yet again. It's true.
Yes, she is giving us everything. Sean, tell us something about this.
So the formal funk line was released in 2003. If it doesn't go without saying, was a prom-themed line. It featured 5 girls and 4 boys. Speaking about the girls only in this case, we had, again, the core 4, and then we had another personality added in, and this is Dana. And her nickname is Miss Sugar Shoes. She is another Bratz girly and is a fan favourite for sure. And yeah, the line featured them in these outfits, as you can see here, which is their first outfits.
Yeah.
They came with so much, actually. They came with a full second outfit, which was a party dress, a second pair of shoes. They were also of a limited release, some of them. So Jade, for example, was like 1 in 250,000 produced.
Oh, wow.
They came with, they weren't deemed as a collector line at the time, but actually in hindsight they very much are, because obviously they were of limited quantities. Jade's, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the rarest of the bunch in terms of quantities made, which is interesting to me. I've never found out why they made more of certain dolls like Chloe and Yasmin versus Jade or Dana. But regardless, they also came with some mini accessories, which was earrings and and bracelets and necklaces. You can see they came with little corsages, which is so cute. They came with a second handbag. This line came with the most. And to top it all off, you also got a doll stand, which was amazing, especially for when you were taking them out of the box and you wanted to display the doll with her second outfit. Even though she wasn't wearing it, you could still see it on the mannequin. And yeah, I have fond memories of this line, very much so.
They're gorgeous.
It's stunning. Yeah, it's so lovely.
They're gorgeous. Like, I think this is possibly one of my favorite Bratz lines ever.
It's quintessentially Bratz, 100%.
And, you know, being a glamorous girl myself,
Absolutely.
I'm obsessed, and I really want these. Is it in that place that I'm going to break into that you have them?
Don't tell her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What rating would you give Formal Funk?
That's so hard. I love these dolls so much. I'm going to give them an 8. Well, I do love the dolls, but actually, I feel like I'm hating on Yasmin. There's a pattern so far in the ones you've shown, but I don't particularly like her face all that much. And she has a really high forehead.
What's wrong with that?
The doll, and I want my dolls to have
How about
lots
Raj?
of hair.
Raj's
I don't
forehead
have
goes all the
hair.
way back to his back.
Yeah, thank you.
All the way back to his
And
knees.
we love that for him. But for Yasmin, there was another doll in the line, not in this line in particular, but in the franchise called Fiona, and she was infamous around this time with getting dolls with a big side part, but her forehead started really kind of high up, and for some reason Yasmin was victim of this, and it's always bothered me. So that is my reason for the 8 score out of 10.
Hey, Fiona, how's your forehead?
You'd need to ask her.
Okay.
Right.
I am going to give this a 7.5. I feel like as much as I think Chloe is serving yet again, I want to see her and Jade switch outfits because I feel like Jade should be rocking the all black outfit. I feel like Jade is the edgy girl. Like, why is she in pink and why is Chloe in the edgy prom dress? I don't know. But yeah, I would say 7.5.
Jade's outfit actually is a bit more orange in real life. And I hear where you're coming from. I feel like Jade would look more fierce with the black. But what I love about Jade's dress is her skirt always reminded me of like feathers, even though that's not the texture.
Yeah.
And I just always thought that was very unique. And if there was any doll in the Bratz pack that would take a fashion risk like that, it would be Jade. So I think that's my fan lure of why she went for that outfit.
Yeah.
That's good. That's true. That's true.
Naomi?
I'm gonna give Formal Funk a 10.
Lay.
I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna give him a 10. And I'm obsessed and I want these.
I'm going to give them a 9. Yeah, it's definitely a 9 for them. I think, I don't know, there's something about Yasmin's dress that I don't like. Honestly, I'm just picking out reasons to dislike them. I'm just going to say 9. I think 9.
Why do you hate Yasmin?
I don't hate
What's wrong
anyone.
with that? Is it the
I
forehead?
love Sasha's screening. I think her makeup is amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Which gives
Her
us
tank
an
top.
average
So cute.
an average score of 8.6.
That's strong.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I think it's good. Right, next.
Iconic.
I think this is like Hall of Fame, Grail. I'm coming my pants.
Yeah. I don't recognize
Yeah.
any of them.
What?
Who's who?
Okay, so from the left, we've got Chloe, Sasha,
Oh,
Jade, Yasmin, and then another new girl in terms of who we've been looking at today. And this is Roxy. Her nickname is also Spice. I'm sure you are fans of Sugar and Spice from Drag Race. Their inspiration came from Roxy and Phoebe, who's
really?
her twin sister, who again have the nicknames of Sugar and Spice. So yes, Roxy is that girl. She is a rock chick and is the lead singer of the Bratz Rock Angels. This collection came out in 2005. You can see in terms of their facial screenings, they got a lot more windswept, as we were kind of talking about earlier. And their fashions are just so quintessentially Bratz. I think you worded that so well in terms of saying that they should be inducted into the Hall of Fame because they are icons. They really are. I love this line so much. They came with 2 outfits, the ones you can see here. Their second outfit was a little tank top that was like a fan shirt that said Rock Angels, and then different colours of mini faux leather mini skirts, which are so cute. And they came with a mini compact disc, so you could play their single So Good, which, you know, not to spoil it, but it is so good. If you've not heard it, please go and listen to that song. I swear it is amazing. And this got a major marketing push at the time. We got a movie, we got dolls, we got play sets, we got games, and not just one game. We got it on our Nintendo GameCubes, we got it on our Nintendo Game Boys, we got it on PlayStation.
Wow.
That's where I played it. And the Bratz Rock Angels game, I still play it to this day. I swear it's just a comfort game. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Seriously, I love this. I love this line so much.
I got the anniversary edition of their car, and it's so well made. MGA did a really good job with detail. You know, the glove compartment opens, and you know the wheels turn, the seat belts. It's just there's so much love for the product. or especially when it comes to Bratz and the other brands as
Definitely.
well, but in this case, Bratz, and
There's
it's so
rags inside the
evident.
car, isn't there? There's like the carpets inside the
Oh yeah,
car.
there's the car mats that are branded as well. Like just there's so much
Yeah.
love
No
and
stone
care.
unturned.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
So
the car also featured maybe not in the re-release, but in the original version of the Bratz Rock Angels car, it came with a built-in radio. So you
yeah,
can imagine how much
Oh
fun
wow.
you would have
yeah,
as a kid going through the radio stations, playing
yeah,
that, putting your doll in the car, taking her for a spin. You
yeah.
know, what more could you want?
No, it's so good, so good. So what would you give Rock Angels?
So I again have to give this line a 10 out of 10. It
Ooh,
is definitely a staple in the fandom. It's so beloved. I again have sentimental value with these dolls too, loving
mhm,
them so much growing up and even love them still to this day. I have to give them a 10. And actually one thing to add on to that, you know how I was talking about dolls that I still want to get?
yeah,
So I would love to get all five of these girls with their tattooed variants. Each girl has a variant. You
Oh.
might be able to see it on Chloe and Jade here specifically. So Chloe has a little kind of orangey
oh
sunbeam
yeah,
tattoo around her belly
Uh-huh.
button.
Uh-huh.
And Sasha had like roses. Rox had a little love heart lightning bolt. All of them were in their kind of like upper thigh area, kind of pelvis area.
mhm.
And they're
On her
super hard
coochie.
to find.
Mm-hmm.
A wee bit upwards from there,
Yeah,
but sure. But yeah, those dolls were limited release, not in terms of low number. It was just I would assume there was probably some complaints from the Karens of the world.
yeah,
No offense to anyone called Karen. And they were either taken back and repackaged so that they didn't feature the tattoos. They were probably
yeah.
deemed a wee bit too scandalous for their time. But again, that's another reason why I love the brand so much. I mean, what other dolls really did you see coming with
Mm,
tattoos in general?
They took it
So
there.
you gotta
They
love them
pushed
for
the
yeah,
that.
envelope.
They did.
Yeah.
yeah. And Naomi, you must love that tattoo gimmick because you have a tramp stamp without the stamp.
She's just the tramp.
She's just a tramp.
This is the kind of abuse I have to endure here, Sean. Just don't forget
Oh,
about that.
Naomi.
No, don't feel
I
sorry for her.
He's a bully. He's a bully. On that note, these girls are fierce, and there's one thing I like about Bratz is that none of them is pregnant. Clearly, they use contraception, and none of them has got children. None of them is getting married. They have boyfriends, but they are still single
Yeah.
girls living their best lives, and
Oh,
it's
yes.
something that for doll lines is kind of rare. Like being chicks with no families or bits like that just like their own characters. I really
Yeah.
like it, and this like rock star kind of vibe to me is great. I mean, it literally speaks to me because I'm a rock star as well, and
Yeah, my
I can
husband
I'm
calls
tell.
me Rock Angels sometimes
you're a
too.
rock angel.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Only sometimes
cute.
though.
We are rock angels.
I'm just kidding. He doesn't call me that.
Yeah, I was gonna
You should ask him.
I'm gonna give this line a 10 also because I think it's
Okay.
just so fierce. The clothing is fierce, the makeup is
Yeah.
fierce, the hair is fierce. It's just a well executed, well thought out line.
I'm gonna give it an 8 because I really like it, but I want to save my tens for later.
Yeah. I'm gonna give them a 10. I feel like if I had them, they have presence, right? And on my shelf, I would be like, oh, they have an amazing presence every time I see them. So yeah, 9.5 for them. Thanks for
Great
bringing that
score.
one down, Naomi. Gosh.
That is actually the highest this
Yes,
far,
that is the
isn't it?
highest.
Yeah,
I'm
we
excited
had
to-
a solid 10 if it weren't for Naomi.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just have to be fair. Next. So we know this is one of your favorite lines. And,
Yes.
earlier in the week, we've asked you what your 3 favorite lines are. So tell us a bit about this line and why it is one of your favorites.
So the Girls' Night Out collection came out in 2004, and I think this is again another quintessential Bratz line that fans adore still to this day. What's so fun about them is they were featured with 3 outfits. So you can see here with this image of Sasha, this is her in her
Yeah.
first outfit. She came with a jumpsuit as a second outfit, and then a full third outfit with a second pair of shoes, a second handbag. You got a bunch of accessories, and their bodies were glittered from head to foot. They had gorgeous screenings, every single one of them, and they all featured for the first time ever rooted eyelashes, and they
Wow.
are
We
just
love a lash.
immaculate. We, we do. We absolutely love a lash. And what was so special about them too, for me, is every single girl has such intricate hairstyles. Not one hairstyle is the same. You can even see on the left-hand side for these prototype images of the dolls, Chloe has these multiple black elastic bands on her hair. They're actually clear in the final release version, but if you could see it in person, you would understand like the detail that were put into these dolls. You can just tell it was such a passion project. And the girls also explored some new colors. For example, it's rare at this time that you would see Sasha in much pink. And I love when the girls change up their traditional color schemes.
Yeah.
Obviously, pink is associated being with a very girly color. So seeing Sasha take that on in terms of her traditional kind of street edge style, that was really refreshing to see. And she happens to be my favorite in the line. But I swear, all 5 of these girls are just gorgeous. I can't fault them. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I love them. I like the glittering body. I think that's fierce. I want to say that I feel like Dana just sticks out like a sore thumb, and I just feel like she doesn't belong. I don't know why. I'm just
Why
not
do
a
you
fan of
hate
Dana.
Dana?
I don't know. I just don't.
Leave
I just
Dana
I'm not.
alone.
I'm not into Dana. What do you think about Dana, Sean? I'm not into Dana. I just feel like she doesn't belong. I'm into the core 4.
That's fair. I feel like, actually, there's been quite a lot of conversation recently in the Bratz community about the core 4 in general, and some people want to see more of the other characters in coming out lines that are to be released versus the original lineup. I'll take anybody. I swear, I love all the girls, but with Dana
Yeah.
in this collection, I see her. I think she belongs there. Don't get me wrong, because I actually love her black dress. It's kind of textured with like a pink lace underlayer, and then these gorgeous little butterflies that kind of float up on the dress. Like you gotta love that detail. And she comes with this beautiful butterfly crop top. It was one of her second outfits. You can't see it in this image here, but for that reason, I really, really like her. But would I place her 5th in the rankings of the Girls in the Girls Night Out collection? Possibly. But I do want to preface that that's not because I don't like her. I really do. It's just the other 4 are so strong. And that would be my only reason to put Dana in 5th place. So I guess I can relate with you to an extent in terms of your feelings on Dana, but you gotta love her, and she gave us another doll with 3 gorgeous outfits. So you can imagine having all of these dolls together. I don't even know mathematically how many costumes you can change them into. It's a lot,
Yeah.
but how
Yeah.
much fun.
There's like so many accessories. And the bags are not pieces of plastic. They are
They're
fabric
fabric.
bag.
hmm
It's just amazing. So
So
what do you want to
good.
give these girls?
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go 10 again. You're bringing out the big guns with these examples. Girls Night Out is iconic.
I'm gonna give them a 10 also. They come with so many outfits. I was gonna say a 9 just because Dana's kind of like an anchor here. But no, I'm gonna give
Yeah.
them a 10. I'm not gonna be a hater.
I'm gonna give them a 9 because I love them, but I love other things more, if that makes any sense. And I want to be fair to the 10s that I'm giving. I'm not generous with my 10s. So I'm going to give them a 9.5. 9.5. Regina?
Yep. I am gonna give them a 10. And I'll tell you why. Because out of all of them, Chloe's my favorite.
Nice.
Yeah, I know.
She hates you
Chloe's
now
the
anyway.
Dixon.
It's too late.
So her screening is so nice, and I love her hairstyle. I love her outfits. And of course, my girl Jade looks like fantastic in what she's wearing. 9.8. They're the highest so far.
Wow.
Right, let's go next.
Oh my god. What is this Twilight magic in front of me?
What an
That's the skin of a
amazing,
Bella.
amazing collection.
What?
I was going to say
Tell
the
us-
skin of
tell
a
us
killer,
everything.
Bella.
Yeah, to the skin of a Bella.
I'm so stupid. Go, Sean, sorry.
Yes, please tell us.
So this is the Midnight Dance collection. It was released in 2005 and featured 3 characters. One of the core 4, which is Jasmine in the purple on the far left. And then in the middle here, we have Megan. And then on the right-hand side, we have Fianna. So what was so special about this line was it was, again, kind of a dance, kind of like the formal funk line in the sense of being going out to an event to party, but with a gothic twist. And
Correct.
one thing you'll probably notice about Bratz, especially in their kind of evolving years when they were coming out, they loved a jean. And they always found a way to put jeans into any type of aesthetic. Obviously, the Tokyo A Go-Go line had jeans on. The Rock Angels had jeans on, and here you go again with the Midnight Dance range, and again in jeans. And they are just so stunning. I love that they all are uniform, yet so uniquely designed at the same time.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore the Midnight Dance screenings. All 3 of them look unreal. And then their hairstyles as well are just so well done, especially Yasmin's. She features some fabric and 2 pieces at the sides of her hair, which I love so much. They came with fabric rose chokers, they came with a handbag, they came with a cape, and again featured a mannequin for you to display their cape on. They came with some makeup accessories, a poster, which you can obviously see here, and an eye mask, which was like a
Ooh.
midnight dance masquerade vibe mask, which you can see in that
Gorgeous.
image with Yasmin there. So again, a just really well designed and beloved collection. I remember seeing these dolls in store in Toys R Us, funny enough, when I was younger, and being like, what in the world am I looking at here? And I mean that in the best way. I was in awe. And you can imagine you can imagine being a child and being like, I need all 3. Like, Mum, you don't understand. I need all 3,
Yeah.
and having to wait. But I didn't even get all 3. Can you believe that? I have them all now, though.
Yeah, I was
Thankfully,
gonna
I
ask.
completed the collection. Oh gosh, like maybe 7, 8 years ago. And yes, they are just incredible. There's a lot of lure around this line as well. There was supposed to be a 4th doll released in the collection. Her name is Leah. However, she, for whatever reason, was not made and pushed into production. But there are images of her out there for anyone who wants to go and look. She is absolutely gorgeous. And I definitely recommend, if you haven't taken a look at Midnight Dance before, now is your time to do it.
Wow, Leah is beautiful.
She's gorgeous. Her and
Oh,
Fianna, to be fair, look a lot like Chloe.
Megan is serving me the most gothy kind. She's so cute.
go for
Sorry,
it.
I have to ask, how much did you pay for them?
So, I mean, 7, 8 years ago, to be fair, the secondhand market of Bratz had not boomed like it has now. So I already had Jasmine and I already had Fianna. It was Megan that I needed to complete the collection. I think I paid £45. And even then, paying that for a doll like this is
Wow.
unbelievable. I've seen these dolls on eBay for up to £100, well over £100. It's hard to come across
I'm,
these dolls for a decent price.
I'm looking at an eBay listing for Megan right now.
Okay.
£800.
I mean, who's buying that? No one is
Yeah.
buying that.
I mean,
That's
That's
crazy.
wild.
That
Don't test me.
In fact, here's a crazy story for you. I don't know if this is a slideshow to come up, but there's another iconic Bratz line called Princess, and they released a twin pack in that collection called the Wicked Twins, and I actually am fortunate enough to have them in box and have done since they were on shelves. I got them back in the day for Christmas. But I saw them on eBay recently for £20,000.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
I know. I actually took a screenshot of it. I was in shock. They're not listed right now, I don't think, but I'm not going to assume anybody paid that much. Like that's a deposit for a house. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I
crazy.
was gonna say, I know you're saving for your place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I am
an
not
answer right there.
dropping 20 grand on
I
anything.
I think the problem with some people listing on eBay is that they think they have these absolute jewels, which are jewels, and then they post them for prices that are completely delusional. They ruin the market for
Unachievable.
everybody. Exactly. They're delusional. And they ruin the market for everybody. These dolls have got a value, but if you think somebody's going to pay £800 for a doll that is mass produced, they are literally delusional.
They belong to the
Exactly.
House of Deluge.
Exactly, belong to the House of Deluge. That being
Mm.
said, I literally need Megan because she looks like she needs a blood transfusion, and I love her. She
They're
needs
all
to
so
eat.
pale. I love it.
She needs to eat a steak, have a blood transfusion, and I love it.
Ratings, let's go.
Okay, I know you're going to be bored of me saying this, but I need to give it a 10.
10.
I just need to give it a 10.
You're
Again,
very
it's one of my
generous.
absolute favorites. I am. I'm sorry, it's that bad, but I
No, I mean,
just love them
listen,
so much.
you have to
You've been
defend
set
your
up.
PR list, that's why. Defend that
This-
PR list, okay?
I promise you, it's got nothing to do with that. It's all to do with genuinely being a fan, especially
Yeah.
this is one of my favorite top 3 Bratz lines ever. So, yes, I love it.
Sean, you don't have to explain. I mean, the people like me and you that are on the Bratz PR list now, is we don't have to defend ourselves. We say what we like. Okay? Don't worry about Raj. It's fine.
Right, so we have 10.
I'm gonna give this an 8. I do love it. I feel like they just like buried their friend who they accidentally murdered. Like I feel like there's like a storyline here.
I love
Little
that.
secret,
I feel
can you
like-
keep it?
Yeah,
Pretty Little
I feel like
Liars, Pretty
Yasmin
Little
is a little
Brat.
bit too covered up for me. Like I feel like I want to see like if this was like a crop top, like it should be like a little more sexy or something. But yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.
Naomi?
She's a good girl, Estefan. She's not a whore like you.
I
So
know.
I'm gonna give them a 9.5 because I really like them. But I'm gonna hold my guns for later.
I'm gonna give them a 9. Love. It's giving. I know what you did last summer. It's giving Charmed. It's giving The Craft. I love it so much. I just wish there was a couple more.
Me too. Me too. I would have loved to have seen Sasha in the line and Jade.
Yeah.
I mean, open it up for the boys as well. That would have been
Yes.
amazing.
We've got a score of 9.1.
Wow, that's really
I like
high.
So close.
It's deserved.
Right, who's next? Party! Party!
My girls.
Come on, Sean, tell us all about
Okay.
them.
So these are the infamous Bratz Party 2010 collection. They were the second release from the comeback era of Bratz. We got a basic line with the core 4, and then we got this deluxe line, which featured the 4 girls. And as we can see in the images here, left to right, we've got Sasha with some gorgeous honey blonde Beyonce styled hair,
Yeah.
inspired hair. Jade, Chloe, and Yasmin. So these girls came with 2 full outfits, 2 sets of shoes, 1 fabric bag, 1 fabric hat, a bunch of accessories that were personalized to their aesthetic and personalities. For example, Chloe, I always loved that she comes with it's a plastic molded necklace, but it's been painted silver, and it says Angel, which is her nickname. She had angel wings as earrings. Sasha, she had a little diamond ring. She had earrings, hoop earrings that were golden and said her name on them. I mean, you don't get much better than that. This collection definitely holds a strong place in my heart, only because I remember so vividly. This was around the time that I actually got my first job, so I think that's the other reason why I remember them so well. And I remember going to Argos, which is a beloved store
Argos.
here in the UK,
Yeah.
and putting in the order number for 3 of the 4. Sasha wasn't actually available in the UK. Had to get her from America, but I made ends meet. That's what eBay was good for.
Yeah.
And completed the collection back in 2010, and I love them so much to this day. And this is one of the
amazing.
collections where I'm fortunate enough to say that I've got 1 set in box and out of box. I
Ooh,
love
lovely.
this line so much.
Lovely, lovely stuff.
That's amazing.
So another 10 for you, Sean?
Because I feel like you don't want me to say 10, so why don't I go on 9.5 just to change it up?
9.5. Don't
But
listen.
I love
don't,
this
don't,
line.
Don't put your integrity into question. If you want a 10, you have a 10.
I'm going to
You
stick
sure
to the
not?
9.5.
Okay, 9.5. Naomi?
I'm gonna give them an 8.5. They are gorgeous. I mean, I live for Sasha.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it an 8.5 because I'm that kind of girl.
I'm gonna give them an 8. I really love their screenings. I really love the pieces. The only thing I'm not loving here is the ruffles. I hate ruffles.
Yeah.
See, I
That's
love
the
the
only thing I'm
ruffles.
complaining about. Yeah, I don't like ruffles,
So
but
that
I'm gonna give it an 8.
yeah, 8. I am also going to give it an 8 for the same reason. But Sasha, amazing. The flapper girl hat, like, oh, amazing.
It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
That gives
So,
us
so
an
good.
8.5.
Oh,
Another good score.
8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially
So
if
I
you've
think
got something to do with it, Sean, yes.
right. So let's see. Now we're gonna step into the more modern era.
Mine just got
I
delivered. I just got her.
no.
Congrats.
I'm so
She is
jealous.
so freaking gorgeous. It's gonna be
Yeah.
difficult to hold my tens from now on. She is absolutely freaking gorgeous. Sean, tell us about this doll.
So, the 2025 Bratziversary Jade is the first in the Bratziversary series. I would assume that this means perhaps every year we'll get another Bratziversary doll,
Yeah.
in line with the yearly anniversary of the release of Bratz 24 years ago. I could be wrong. I don't know anything for certain, so who knows what will happen with the Bratziversary line. All I know is Jade is the first. What
Yeah.
I absolutely love about this doll, first and foremost, is again experimenting with the facial screenings. Her
Yeah.
face up is unbelievably stunning. Her hair color, we have never seen a Jade doll released with icy platinum blonde hair.
Yeah.
I know some people were like, "Is that Chloe?" But what I like, I never, especially as an adult collector, I don't need to see the same doll with the same hair color every single time. I
Yeah.
love it that Bratz change up their hair color now and then, and this is an example of that. So again, the hair color and the hairstyle, all these gorgeous braids, just
Yeah.
beautiful. I love the dress, those heels, girl. I mean, I don't
The
know where she's
heels.
walking around in them other than the runway, but she
In
looks
London.
Yeah.
so good. I mean, if she wants to
Mm-hmm.
go to the supermarket in those,
Yeah.
kudos to her.
To
I would look
Tesco.
twice. Yes, to Tesco, to get her weekly shop or whatever she's up to. I want to be there.
That's
I want to
actually what
go.
I wear to go to Tesco.
Oh, it is? I love that for you.
I actually go to M&S to be honest, but yeah, that's what I wear.
An M&S girly. But yeah,
I
so she's great.
I
Bonus
thought
twat.
that she was Chloe when I first saw her, not just because of the blonde hair, but because that veil, it almost seems like angel wings or something. And so I
Yeah.
was kind of putting like
Okay.
the angel
Yeah.
kind of like symbolism with her nickname. And like just like the very like ethereal, soft makeup, it seemed very angelic. So that's
Mm.
why I was thinking Chloe, but it is very, very fierce that it's Jade.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't know who it was. I just knew like I need that doll, right? She's
Hmm.
Gaga, she's the fifth element, she's, giving almost jellyfish, and I love everything about this doll. And yeah, I just tens for me.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's absolutely insane. First of all, let's give a round of applause to Lollywood, who's actually designed this face. Like, this face is
Amazing.
everything. So, Lollywood,
Yes.
if you're listening, if you're not listening, this is well done, baby. This is amazing. And what I love so much about it is that they went to the community to get the doll done. There's so much talent in the doll community, so many amazing artists in the doll community, and the fact that they reached out to them to make this beauty is absolutely incredible to me. She is beautiful. Her clothes are beautiful. The shoes are insane. The face is giving me everything I need and more. The veil, dramatic. I love a veil. She is a 10 plus for me. 10 freaking plus. She's insane, gorgeous. Glad I got two of them. They're beautiful.
10 for me.
10.
John, are you giving her a 10?
Yes, from the face to the lace, 10 out of 10.
We
I'm
got our first
also
10.
Yeah, 10 as well.
Yay! friends across the board.
I will say I do have
Deserved.
one criticism about this doll. Right? It's
What
a very
is it?
small criticism. I just wish the veil was slightly bigger, like, or longer.
Like a wedding
Yeah,
veil.
I see what you mean.
Not fully
fair.
like a wedding veil, but just a little bit longer. I don't know. It just feels a little. Yeah, it's
It's
not a
an
veil.
odd length. It's going to be difficult
Yeah.
to put on the head because it's not going to hold. It feels very light. I don't think it's going to be able to hold on the head very well without support. But we'll
Yeah.
see.
Sure.
We'll see. She's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
But again, it's such a small thing. But
You just want to
yeah.
be pedantic.
No,
That's why you're not on the PR list. Bratz, don't forget about this. MGA, listen to me. I love this.
Yeah, oh, do you now? How
Right.
do you feel about Rainbow High, Naomi?
I love it.
Oh yeah, now you do.
So, talking about amazing lines, scorching,
Yeah, my eyes, they're burning from this beauty.
which is actually what happens to Raj JJ after a weekend, is scorching. So, we love this. So, Sean, tell us about these girls.
So these girls actually just as of today have started making the rounds in stores and Target. So I don't know when we're going to get them in the UK. So watch this space. But the Scotland line is a new budget line for 2025, featuring the Bratz and some, pardon the reference, dynamite inspired fashions. Very motorcycle, edgy, girly, hyper pop references that I'm getting from this. What I love is that, again, they're all in their own styles, but they're uniform and they're giving me major K-pop girl band vibes. I could
Yeah.
absolutely see this in a music video, and thankfully we
Totally.
did actually get to see this in the Think About It music video, which we
Yeah.
got from Bratz just a couple of months ago. Their screenings as well are all so different to each other. I mean, from Chloe's white lashes, which I adore, to Sasha's
Obsessed.
iconically fierce face and Jade's.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stop looking at her. She gives me Snow White. Now, this is me going nuts with my reference here. She's given me Snow White. She's ate the poison apple. She's literally died, and she still looks unreal. That's where my mind goes. You know,
Yeah,
like those gorgeous ruby
absolutely.
red lips, that pale skin, those lashes, and Yasmin looks great too. And while I see that they're kind of reusing the Kylie Jenner lipstick heels, I like that they've been repainted so that, again, they're unique to each doll. So it's not like if you bought Yasmin and then you bought Jade, you've got the option to mix and match all four because they're all different, yet they are the same. And I love
Yeah.
that. And then you need to remember that this is a budget line, and for a
Yeah.
budget collection, I can't fault them. I think they're great.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's a budget line. I think it's insane. The details is just gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
And have you seen the
Obsessed.
packaging they're coming in?
I know.
cute.
It's insane.
So cute. I love it.
My pussy is throbbing. A tear just ran down my leg looking at all these. It is so hot. I think especially like the makeup and all of them, like they really are like taking risks with the screenings, which is really fun to watch. And
Yeah.
this is a play line, so kids can play with this, but it's definitely for adults too. This is definitely
way.
something that's making both kids and adults happy.
The choice of yellow on Sasha, I am gagged. She looks
Yeah.
so
our-
gorgeous.
Who's our favorites in order, you know, character to character?
Jade.
For me, no, for me would have to be Chloe. I think Chloe's face is insane. Chloe's makeup is insane. She looks so
Yeah.
freaking gorgeous. The rest is all on the same level, but Chloe's face is giving me everything that I need and more. It's just so gorgeous.
Love it.
What would you give the score?
Oh, so I, again, really, really love this line. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, not
Okay.
because I don't think it's scorching. It absolutely
Yeah.
is. But if I'm comparing to the likes of Girls' Night Out and I'm giving them a 10, that would
Yeah.
be my reason for bringing that score just slightly below. But please don't get me wrong, they're great. I cannot
Yeah.
wait to add them to my collection.
It's fun.
Oh, wow.
It's a 10. It's a solid 10 for me. This is so fucking hot. It's a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
We-
10
we-
for me.
I was going to say, we could tell Estefan's giving it a 10. I can basically see his rock hard nipples
Yeah.
Naomi, what is it?
It's a 10, baby. It's a 10.
Ooh.
I'm gonna buy all of them and I'm gonna like just like I can't wait. They're so gorgeous. So gorgeous.
hmm
I'm gonna give this a 9.5, right? And it was so close to being a 10. So close. But I absolutely hate the frill on Yasmin's skirt. It is just not
Oh,
needed. And
You're
I
just
not
being
for
don't
you.
think
petty.
I
You're
don't
just
think
being
Jade needed
petty.
shorts. I think
She's
they
the
should have all just had skirts.
princess.
I
You're
Oh.
so
love
petty.
Jade's. I love
She's
Jade's
the
like 3/4
princess.
length pants. Like they look so good.
Yeah,
I
they
love
I
are.
don't
them.
know. I
They're
would
I
have
know they're a
liked to
so
hot
see in a
topic,
skirt.
but I love it.
But that's
yeah.
a 9.3 for these.
Wow. They're
Another great score.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Car keys.
I am very into this. I have seen a lot of, I think this is like a very polarizing Bratz doll because I've seen a lot of hate and a lot of love for this online. I am someone who is very, very into it. Partly because I'm also very into the glasses and the sunglasses. But the packaging alone, like this is freaking stellar. Like this is sick. The
Yeah.
carpet that she is on, like she looks like she's
Yeah.
in a little boutique. Like this is sick.
Mm,
This is
That's how
so,
you do
so sick.
PR. That's how you
yeah.
do
Right,
PR.
right.
Yeah,
And, this is definitely aimed at an adult collector, right? And,
for sure.
I mean, do you think that with, adult collecting, it's a trend now. We're gonna get a lot more of this stuff. Do you think it differs massively from what Bratz used to be to what it is now?
I think it's just an example of Bratz kind of evolving with the times, but also evolving with their audiences.
Yeah.
There's so many people that I know that I'm friends with in the community that have been growing up with Bratz and collecting them for as long as they can remember and been able to evolve with the brand and see Bratz actually, modernize themselves not only with fashion trends, but even with brands that some collectors may or may not be aware of. But if they aren't, it's introducing them to a new aesthetic and a new style of doll. I think it's great. But for this especially, you can imagine when I learned that I was going to be receiving something, I
Yeah.
fully expected it was going to be the sunglasses alone. I
Yeah.
honestly didn't forecast that there would be a doll, and I hadn't seen anything online, and I was absolutely honored to even have been asked to receive anything. So I was excited for whatever was going to come.
Wow.
But when
Yeah.
that box arrived, I was so like, I don't even remember exactly what I thought I was going to expect, but
Yeah.
I can't emphasize how large this box was. And I was like, there's definitely more than sunglasses in here. And it was
Yeah.
so heavy. So when I, got my box cutter, opened it up and realized that it was a doll, I, I was gagged. I had
Yeah.
no idea that this was coming. And like you said, like Esteban, with it being like a play set of a boutique,
Yeah.
I mean, I still look at it and think like, how do I have that? Like
Yeah.
I'm so lucky and I love her so much. And something that a lot of people don't know yet, but I'm doing my best to spread the word. Her name is Jenna. She is the if Gentle Monster, the brand, was a Bratz
Yeah.
doll, that is her. Her name is
Yeah.
Jenna.
Wow.
I mentioned a wee bit more about her in the description for the post that I put up a couple of days ago about her. But she is amazing. She's like this hybrid of like a robot. She's got fully robotic arms and it goes all over her chest and down her back and obviously around her butt area. And then you've got one leg that's like robotic. Both of the
Yeah.
heels are the same, but one obviously has the kind of robot silver chrome look to it, which
Yeah.
matches very nicely with the handbags, which you can see in this little boutique set. And then, yeah, the little bit at the bottom with the black strap, you pull that out, and then that's where some other pairs of sunglasses for you, the consumer, are stored. So
Yeah.
you get 4 pairs of sunglasses in total, one of which you can see next to Jenna in the image. And then
Yeah.
you get
Wow.
5 pairs of doll-sized
Oh,
glasses
nice.
for
Are the
Jenna.
same ones?
So yes, they're the exact same as the one you get as the consumer. She does get two of the same though. So the
Yeah.
pair that she's wearing is also featured on the shelf rack. So yeah, you get 5 pairs of shades for her, two of which are the same, and then 4 pairs of glasses for you. And of
That's
course, she
insane.
gets her second outfit, which is a silver chrome jacket, much like Moa Lola Felicia's jacket, but in silver and jades. And then she also comes with a silver mini skirt too, and it's incredible. I swear, I love her so much.
Yeah. I think yeah. That's what I think. No, I definitely think Gentle Monster and also Bratz Anniversary are very good examples of dolls as art. You know,
Yeah.
these are perfect images of what I would imagine that to look like. Down to the dead straight hair, the cyberpunk, you know, stylization. Yeah, it's so beautiful.
It's insane. I'm shocked. It's insane. It's so good.
I'm just anxious that I'm not going to be able to get her. Like, I'm anxious that there's
Yeah.
going to be this mad rush to get her, and then I'm not going to be able to get my hands on her. I'm afraid that, like, scalpers are going to get her before I do.
And it's such a shame, but I did see with the Bratz Anniversary, it did sell out in the first couple of minutes, and then they had restocks, but it was a pre-order. And I think that's quite good because then you're not in a mad rush, you're pre-ordering, and I think they should adopt that style of purchasing so that people aren't disappointed or having to pay, you know, £800 for one of these dolls.
But
Yeah,
this is a
yeah.
PR piece. I think it's just
Yes.
very much related to this brand release. So you really can't expect them to do this, I think. I think it's just gorgeous.
But will it be available worldwide or just in Bangkok, Thailand, and
So it will be
California.
available for online purchase. I think maybe where the confusions went is, and it does say this on Bratz and Gentle Monster's Instagram, that it will be released online on the 30th and will be available in 4 physical pop-up stores in different locations. So you will still have the opportunity to buy her online. However, more information on that to come when we find
Yeah.
out a wee bit more about what the prices are going to be. I know there's been a lot of debate around that, so I think it'll be nice when Bratz/Gentle Monster actually kind of iron out those concerns and let people know what's going on.
I think they're going to be locked with the purchase of the glasses, isn't it? I think that's the plan of getting them.
From my understandings, but I don't know any more information than you all do.
Just
I
for
love
the
your
listeners.
pageant response there. Sure.
Just for the listeners at home, we're recording this at the end of May, so when this episode will be out, it's going to be well after that. But we're recording this at the end of May, so we don't know enough to speculate on what is going on.
Exactly.
Should we even bother trying to ask for scores? Because I feel like I already know the answer.
Let's do it. Well, Sean, what do you think?
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 2.
Controversial.
Just a
Are we
lot.
sticking with the 2?
No, of course not. I'm going to give it a 10.
That's right. I'm going to give it a 10 as well.
It's a hardcore 10 for me as well. And I want all the glasses and the doll, so I hope that I can buy the glasses too. I want to match with my doll.
That's a 10. 10.
You know, what many people don't know about me is that I am half a robot as well. And,
Oh,
you know,
so
I am.
this is where
I'm
you're meant to be.
metallic. Yeah, so this is
Naomi,
actually
shush.
me.
Sean,
is.
don't
Yeah, we're
tease
trying to-
me. I'm
Stop
coming.
teasing.
Yeah.
We are about to block you.
Do you want
No,
my-
guys,
Do you want
feel
this
the
doll room
love.
to be covered in?
Yeah.
Here's some
look at
sunglasses. I'll show you the
that.
Bratz one specifically. What's so cool is they all fold away into little
Oh
compact
my
size
God.
bags.
That's so cool.
so cool. I'll put these
So
on.
Sean is showing us the Gentle Monster Bratz doll now in the PR packaging, and we are all having a moment.
Yes.
And feel free to block him as well, guys, on Instagram, because he doesn't deserve your friendship. Really.
Please.
So just block him. Everybody, please block him.
I'm blooming like a flower.
Rosebuds.
I've got
Here
a
we go.
towel.
So these
put
are the
down.
ones that Jenna is wearing in the packaging.
Wow.
So yeah, they're
They look good on you.
Cool.
Thank
Those look
you.
good
They're
on you.
so
I'll need to find an
cool.
occasion to wear them, but I love them. Seriously,
These
I've
are
never had
so
sunglasses like
stay-coded.
this. Yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah, those are very meat coated.
So, yeah.
Nothing gentle
Yeah.
about this monster.
Oh, she's just a monster.
I love it. Those are beautiful. Thank you
But
for
yeah, I
sharing,
hope you
Sean.
have luck
Yeah,
getting them
thank
on the
you.
30th. No, no problem. It's as I say, like on any scale, any type of doll, it doesn't matter when it comes to Bratz. I just love being able to share them with fellow fans and collectors. So it's fun. Thank you, honestly. Do you know
Right.
what I
I
think's
think that's
great
the.
about these two scores that
Uh-huh.
we've got, which are both 10 out of 10s, that both of them are 2025 releases? It just
Yeah.
goes to show that the brand is continuing to wow us as
Yeah.
collectors and keep us
hmm
intrigued and wanting more. I think
On our
that's so important,
toes.
and I love that. I think that's so
Yeah,
good.
yeah, absolutely. Nami, what's next?
It's the end of it.
Oh.
All
We made it.
So,
My
right.
first podcast.
Sean, how did you find this whole experience?
Honestly, I've had so much fun. It's great being able to talk with fellow doll collectors and um, know that there's an audience here that, again, have an interest in dolls. And, I'm just looking forward to speaking with members in the community about it and
Yeah.
keeping the conversation going, really.
We are going to be inviting you again when there's another
Oh.
juicy Bratz
Yeah.
release
Oh,
because
I
Absolutely.
would love to
your
be a part of that.
encyclopedic knowledge of the brand is just, I mean, I'm shocked. I mean, we've spoken clearly to so many people, and we were in touch with so many collectors, but I think that's the first time I'm shocked by how much a person knows
Yeah.
about a
Wow.
brand,
Thank you.
from the release date, the details behind the scenes, and you're literally just like a walking encyclopedia of Bratz, which is shocking. And thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge with us. Girls, do you want
Thank
to
you,
say
honestly.
anything to Sean before we ask him for his handle and song?
I just want to say thank you for being here and, thank you for being a Dolly friend. Insert Dolly friend
Yeah.
song. We're going to put it right here.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for all your knowledge. Everyone needs to follow Bratz
Thank
Boy
you.
in the Zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Thank you so
echoing
much.
what Estefan said, yeah, and Naomi, your knowledge is, so wonderful to hear, and so happy to be part of your community, as well as you being part of ours as well. So yeah, thank you for joining us today.
That's so nice, honestly. Thank you all for that. That's so sweet. I'm blushing.
Sean, where can we find you on Instagram?
Yeah, so if you follow me on Instagram at Bratz Boy in the Zone, that's all one word. Please come say hi, send me a message, comment on my pictures, whatever you want. Please, it'd be nice to meet some more of you. And yeah, thank you so much.
Sean, what song would you like to add to the Dolly Parton playlist?
So I know I can only add one, but I love knowing that I'll be back again. So for this
Yeah.
You
time,
will.
I'm going to go with the amazing single Think About It by
Yeah.
Bratz.
What?
Okay.
Think about it, work it out, and
It's funny. I played this in the car today with my partner, and he was like, "Oh, what's this?" And I was like, "It's Brad." And he's like, "No way."
Yeah. My husband
I
did the
found
same
it. Jim Brothers.
thing.
Yeah.
When I first showed him, he was like, "Who is this?" But my
Yeah.
my favorite part of the video is the very beginning where she's like, "Girls, go check the message." It's so cunty.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
For sure.
So fun.
And the music
so
video
fun.
as well is so cute. I love it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The hairography in that video,
Yes.
amazing. Yeah.
Yes, it's so hot.
Insane.
Yeah.
Here for it.
We live. Well, Sean, thank you so much, and we hold you to your promise, and we want you back 100%.
I'll be back. Thank you for the invitation, honestly.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
Oh my God, what an episode! Don't you ladies feel refilled with a passion for fashion today?
Bratz. Yes, I do.
I think, I have been good.
I think that I'm forever going to love how people in Scotland say the number 6.
Yes.
Well,
It's
you
very-
want to have a lot of sex in your life.
Mm-hmm.
6 on your mind. You know what? It's been amazing, and Sean is such a sweetheart, and he's so knowledgeable, and the fact that he has
so
an
lovely.
amazing sexy Scottish accent just help. I just love a Scottish accent. The only thing it was missing was a kilt. If he had a kilt, it would have been perfect.
This would be a different
I
fucking
love
podcast,
it.
I'll tell you now.
I love a man in a kilt. That's all I can say. Right, bitches. Talking about shady bitches online, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram and YouTube at Plastic Poppy.
Oh, you're that kind of plastic. I thought you were another type of plastic. Maybe something plastic glamour or plastic.
Plastic shit.
Oh, no shade, no shade. Raji, where can we find you looking for other people's man?
You can find me at House of Kismet.
And you can find me and the Crooked Arches at the House of Deluge on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I don't know, in your dreams.
Ooh.
Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen and dames. And to the next episode. Bye.
Bye.